Owl will destroy the DAW and recording. What's that? AI will destroy recording and the DAW. Now, before I tell you what I see in the future for the DAW and for recording in the next, say 5 to 10 years, let's go over, let me just show you something here. And let me tell you why I believe what I believe. I believe that absolutely in the future that we're not going to be recording anymore. For the most part, recording will still be there, mainly for recording little snippets that we're going to turn into different kinds of instruments. Example, you'll hum a track, you go boom, boom, bap, and then you will generate a drum track. In your DAW, your tracks are not going to be tracks that you hit a record button on. Instead, what you're going to do is you're going to type in, there's going to be like a text box or something, and you're just going to type in what you want, and that will be generated, right? So we're going to move from a recording economy to a generating economy. And for everyone who says, not me, I'm not going to do that, yes, you will. Because your competition will be using AI, like I'm going to show you, and it's going to blow your socks off. Listen, if you don't want to watch the whole video, that's fine, but watch this part. It's going to blow your freaking mind. And the reason why, as I said, the reason why you're going to use it is because your competition is going to be putting out song after song after song. And if you're there in your DAW trying to record, normally you're just not going to keep up with the volume of music coming out. So let me just show you something here and why I believe the DAW will essentially be gone. And we're going to go from a DAW to what I call the DAIW. And if anybody wants to use that term, you got to pay me. I mean, you probably don't, but I'm just going to say you do. And also, by the way, plugins are going to be completely different. Plugins are not going to exist in the way they exist today. They may not exist at all in the next 5 to 10 years, but I'll go more into that in a minute. So this is Suno, right? I'm just going to show you something here. I hope you're sitting down because it's going to blow your freaking mind. Let's just say I want to write a song, right? So every day you come into your studio, you sit down, you have to write a song, you have to work on music, whatever, right? How long does it take you to write a song, generally? A minute, probably not a minute, probably a minimum of, even if you're really good, it's going to take you probably a few hours to come up with the idea, lay down the instruments. If you're actually recording, it's going to take you longer. If you're going to set up an acoustic drum kit, just setting up an acoustic drum kit, for those who haven't done it, that's 2 hours. If you have a big giant kit, that includes tuning and getting the mics and the levels and whatever. But let me just show you something here. Let's say I wanted to record a metal song. Well, let's just see here. We're going to use Suno, and I'm going to generate a song. Let's see. This is December 1st when I'm recording this. So we'll go, I want a metal song, okay? What do I want it to be about? A metal song, well, it's December 1st, so about Santa. Santa and maybe elves. Santa and elves. I could put reindeer, but let's just say Santa and elves. And other than a metal song, how do I want it to sound? Well, maybe I want it to have like, let's just say, in the style of Slipknot. Now, this model isn't going to actually recognize exact artists. That would be a copyright claim. But by putting of Slipknot in there, it's just going to understand like aggressive, and it's a bunch more words I don't have to add. Okay. So now I'm going to hit create here. Are you ready? Create. What I want you to do is think about how long it would take you to compose a metal song about Santa. Oh, look at that. It just generated my lyrics for me. That's right, folks. It generated the freaking lyrics from that prompt. Just the lyrics for your song are going to take hours. Listen, if you're a genius, you might pump them out in 30 minutes, maybe. But probably at least an hour. And then you got to work on the music, right? I mean, again, just setting up a drum kit, setting up 18 microphones, checking the levels, that's going to be hours, folks. If you don't know how to play drums, you're going to have to hire yourself a session drummer. It even generated a picture for me, right? So we have 2 different styles here. Again, I haven't heard either of these. We're going to hear them both live here at the same time. So again, are you sitting down, folks? Are you sitting down? Because if you're not, you're gonna fall down, because this will blow your mind. Are you ready? Let's go. A completely created, generated AI song.
Me
Okay, so that wasn't as much in the style of Slipknot as it was in maybe some 80s rock or something, or 80s metal. But all that was generated, folks. That's, I mean, how are you going to compete in the future by setting up a drum kit? Get that out of the way. How are you going to compete by setting up a drum kit in the future, right? Or bringing up Superior Drummer or something, and then taking all the time to run through and say, okay, let me get this figured out, right? Let me use a bunch of different MIDI or whatever. It's going to take you, again, 30 minutes minimum. That's for a genius songwriter. But probably hours to do that. Whereas this, it was generated in under 2 minutes. Let's check the other one here, the other version. So it recorded 2 versions of a song that it wrote by itself from a simple prompt. It wrote the verse, it wrote the chorus, and of course, as time goes along, it will write full entire songs. You're also going to have the ability to come in here and just highlight something and replace those lyrics yourself. We can already come over here and do things like continue from this clip. There's a lot of stuff you can do already, but I just want to let you know, in 5 to 10 years, folks, this is how we're going to make music. And like, as I said up top, the reason why everyone is going to do this is because you're not going to have a choice. Because even though the majority of the music coming out will be garbage, it's the same thing we saw when the DAW came to the personal computer, right? You didn't have to go to a studio anymore. So more and more garbage music came out. But what happens what happens when things are democratized or made easier to use? Well, people without the same level of talent, with the same level of background, without the same level of work that I'm sure a lot of us have put in. I've put in 15 years or more into this. So, but someone today, a kid, a 7-year-old today, for example, could just take a laptop, or not even a laptop, just an iPhone or an iPad, and create a hit song, with no background, with no real knowledge. Now, obviously, the vast majority of the songs are, like I said, are going to be garbage, but you're just not going to have the option to not use AI in the future, because again, there's going to be your competition's going to use it. They're going to be faster. They're going to be more on point for music that is needed, and it's just going to be a necessary thing that you're going to have to learn. Now, I want to show you something else here. I did this yesterday. I wrote a prompt, a metal song about cheese in the style of Slipknot. So I just want you to hear this. This one is even closer to like Slipknot. Are you ready? Again, this was generated, folks. Lyrics and everything. Tell me that's not perfect, right? Tell me that is not absolutely perfect. And then the second version is more like a stone sour, Insane, folks. But I'll do something else. Let's go for more of like a pop sound or something, right? Pop music, that's the most popular. Let's say pop music about, let's say, breaking up, because that's what it's about. Pop music about breaking up in the style of Taylor Swift. Okay, in the style of pop music about breaking up in the style of Taylor Swift, someone I can't stand and someone who looks like a bird. So let's go ahead and create this pop song. Now, again, I want you to think, if you're into pop, right? How long does it generally take you to write an entire song, and record an entire song? And, how long does that generally take you? Because here we're going to compose 2 songs, 2 mixes in under 2 minutes. It's not only going to create the lyrics, it's going to create the vocals, it's going to create whatever other instruments are a part of this. And it's also going to mix it and master it for me. Okay. So again, in the future, folks, you're going to, like, AI is going to take care of everything for you in your DAW. You're simply going to type in what you want, or you will use your microphone to record in a prompt. And that's how things will be generated, or, instead of recording, it's going to be generated for the most part. Now, if you're into metal, you're going to be using standard recording features longer than anyone else, simply because it's hard to, okay, we're done here. It's hard to generate a distorted electric guitar. You know what I mean? At least on its own. Suno does pretty good, but other models aren't so good. We're going to look at some other ones here in a second, but I just want you to see that this varies between genres. Okay. So again, I haven't heard this, but I already know it's going to be absolutely amazing, because this is just, everything I've generated here has been just absolutely amazing. Ready?
We used to be the perfect match, a love that seems so true, but now we're just a broken record, stuck on the same tune.
Okay, so all the cliches of modern pop music, right?
You said we'll last forever, but forever only lasted till morning. Now I'm left with nothing but these shattered dreams and broken promises. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm popping bottles of heartbreak, dancing.
Now I want you to notice what happened there when we went into the chorus, right? It mixed it so it got a little bit louder in the chorus. That's what you do whenever you're actually mixing a song. Well, AI did that for us. AI mixed it, right? It mixed it for us. It adjusted the levels for us. It bloomed out into a chorus, just like you would do in your DAW, right? And again, like I said, it wrote all the basic cliches of, this is why I hate pop music and I hate most music, because it's so cliche and just, yuck. But that's beside the point here.
To the beat of goodbye, you're just another sad love song that I can't deny. I'm singing about a story, every lyric laced with pain. In this pop music about heartbreak, I'll never be the...
Yeah, we get it.
We used to be the perfect match.
It blows your mind that this stuff was simply generated, folks. Here's a 80s track I did the other day. I just typed in pop drum track, 80s style reverb on snare, and it generated the lyrics. Generated the lyrics, the vocals, the song, everything. Okay, I did a Taylor Swift prompt the other day. Moody pop song, emotional, girl power, style of Taylor Swift. Again, loaded with freaking cliches, but it's spot on. Are you ready, folks? Again, generated with AI.
In the glow of the city lights, lost in the maze, dark as night. But I won't let it bring me down. I'll rise above, wear my crown, yeah. Through the tears and the pain, I'll fight. I'm a fighter, a survivor.
Again, did you hear it? From the verse to the chorus, it bloomed out. So it was mixed properly, it was mastered properly. Yeah, you get some artifacts in the vocals, but folks, I mean, how many pop songs recorded today are just run through auto-tune? So they also have all these, artifacts of the correction. That's like a style. Not to mention, there's an entire style of music today, folks, where people take songs that have existed for years, they speed them way up, and then they listen to them sped up. It's like a whole, I don't remember the name of the style right now, but it's a whole freaking style of what is it, Gen Z, I guess, that they're into. So, I mean, we're not going to be recording music anymore, for the most part, folks. I can't even listen to the cliches anymore. But this is just one site, folks, where you can try this out for yourself, by the way. You can try it out for free. It's app.suno.ai. So head over there, check it out for yourself if you want to generate some things for free. Okay. But back to the DAW, and we'll get back to some more models here in a minute. But what we're going to have, as I sort of already mentioned, in the future, our DAW will be text prompts, essentially. So if I want a drum track, I'm not going to come down here and open up Superior Drummer 3. I'm not going to drag my drum kit out, set it up, take hours to do that, take hours to tune it, take hours to get every single level, you know. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here to my DAIW. I'm going to type in that I want a drum track, and I'm going to render it. I'm going to say, I want it to be this style. I want it to be this long. I want it to have this beat. I want it to sound like this thing that already exists. Or if I don't know what I want, which is, you know, and a lot of times you don't know what you always want, you might just hit random and get some random beat and then go from there to create your song, right? You'll be able to take, let's say you generate a drum track first, right? Your DAIW is going to be context aware. So if you generate a drum track with a certain beat, certain timing, whatever, right? You'll then be able to go to, say, track 2 and say, now generate me a bass track that goes along with my drum track. Now we can already do something like that if you have Superior Drummer 2 and if you have Easy Bass. And also if you have Easy Keys. All these already work together in ways that we can feed the audio in and generate. But this is going to be DAW wide, right? This is going to be amazing for people who are, say, singer-songwriters or whatever, or maybe those who only have one, you know, who only play one instrument. You're going to be able to lay down your instrument because recording will still exist, but it will be enhanced by AI. But for the most part, most of everything else will be generated. But say you're a guitar player, you don't know how to play drums or bass or keys or anything else, okay? You'll be able to lay down your guitar track. The DAIW is going to be context aware. You can then generate a drum track that goes along with the guitar track that you perhaps recorded in. And then you can generate a bass track that goes along with that, a piano track, even a vocal track that goes along with all of that stuff. So that's going to be your DAIW. It's also going to mix for you and master for you. I mean, if you look at things, like if you're into any of the isotope plugins, the things that work together, especially like Neutron, where we can already use Neutron across several tracks to, it almost mixes for you, really. I mean, a lot of these also have AI assistants built into them, but again, this will be DAW wide, you know. But even already right now with things like Neutron, you can already scoop out areas of one track that conflict with another track. You know, you can already do that with our current level of AI, which is not even that high, which in 5 to 10 years from now is going to be off the charts. Now, what about plugins themselves? Where are they going to be in the future? Well, 2 possibilities, folks, and then I'll show you some more AI models after this. But there's 2 possibilities. So we could actually have plugins still exist, although they would be a little bit different in that, you know, here's Nectar Advanced, for example. Like Nectar Advanced is compiled, it runs on my machine locally. In the future, if plugins still exist, so we have like an interface or something, they won't be installed locally, or at least they won't be completely installed locally. Instead, they're going to run in the AI cloud. Now this is going to take time to build, like I said, 5 to 10 years, folks. So, you know, don't stop buying plugins yet. You're going to need them for, you know, at least 5 years, if not even longer. But I mean, Microsoft is building an AI cloud or AI chips now. Amazon is starting to build AI chips. What's essentially going to happen, and the reason why it's not going to make sense to actually have plugins fully installed on your system is because they're going to be connected to an AI module, a music module, and they're going to affect it and essentially enhance what that AI model can do. And they're also going to be updated, not just daily, folks, but hourly, minute by minute. As the AI absorbs more information, it's going to get smarter minute by minute by minute. So it's not going to make any sense to have to reinstall a new version of your plugin every single day, right? It's not going to make sense. So if plugins exist like this, to where there's some sort of an interface, and even the interface may not be a thing, the interface may just be like a generic interface. If you look at something like Bitwig, for example, that has a generic interface for every plugin, or you look at something like even DaVinci Resolve that has a generic interface for any plugin. I mean, you can always call up the regular interface, but it will have all the settings and adjustments that you need in just the standard interface. We may have plugins like that in the future, but more than likely what's going to happen is you're going to record, or not even record, you're probably going to generate a drum track, right? Or guitar track. Let's say you generate a guitar track and you like it. And you say, okay, you're going to say, to your AI assistant, let's say his name is Roger. You're going to say, hey, Roger, I want this guitar track run through a Diesel Herbert. You'll say, oh, all right. And now you'll hear it through a Diesel Herbert. It'll be just generated again. And then you'll say, you know what? I want it run through a certain special vintage EQ. Now, if you don't have that vintage EQ in the AI model that you're using, which is going to come with your DAW, by the way, what you're going to do is you're going to go online and you're going to purchase that plugin. And that plugin will then enhance your AI, that it will just basically unlock what it already knows for you to use. And then you're going to use the sound of that EQ applied to whatever track that you have. Okay. Same thing for, a certain compressor that you want to use. Hey, Roger, run this drum track through this really boutique compressor. Okay. And then you'll get the sound of that, because AI is going to analyze, every teeny tiny little parameter change that happens on all of this vintage equipment, that happens in every plugin. It will have in detail every teeny tiny change that happens with every little twist of a knob in every single plugin. Now, as I said, either we're going to have to continue to buy access to these enhanced features, or they will be a part of an AI model. Okay, so in that case, plugins wouldn't really exist. You'd simply purchase your DAW, which will come connected to the AI cloud, and then you'll have access to all these sounds, right? Or, and I'm sure the plugin industry will prefer the second, or you'll head over to Waves and you'll say, hey, I want this certain de-esser in my AI cloud, and then you'll just click a few buttons and it will be transferred over and it will be unlocked from your AI cloud. Just the way AI works, AI absorbs that information and they can reproduce it. So they're going to have to basically have gates to keep people from using, using all the sounds that AI actually already has access to. But yeah, that's generally where I see the DAW going. It's going to get easier to use, much easier to use. It's going to be faster to use. It will be less human for sure. And just as when the original DAW came out and the original audio interfaces started to come out for personal computers, just as YouTube exploded, right? We had an explosion of crap. Now, the good thing about it is people who are truly talented will now have an option, or at least the ability to generate what they have always wanted to do. Maybe they don't have the ability to play. Maybe they have, a messed up hand or something and they can't play guitar. Well, now they can generate everything that was in their head that they always wanted to do that they couldn't physically do. So I'm not saying it's all downsides. There are good sides to it, but there's no doubt we're going to have an absolute explosion of crap. And what we have to understand is that people don't care about quality or substance or anything, right? It's flash, it's zing, it's razzle dazzle. That's what people care about. So, I mean, you're gonna have to use AI, even if you don't want to, even if you still want to record and all you ever want to do is record, analog style, where you're actually hitting a record button. Maybe you want to do that. Maybe you want to use a real drum kit. Maybe you have an appreciation for the difference between a Pearl maple kit or a mahogany kit. Maybe you enjoy the slight change in tone of, using a certain kind of a wood stick versus a metal stick. Maybe you care, but let me tell you, the vast majority of people don't, okay? They don't really care about all those intricacies that you get with recording exactly specific instruments, although again, AI is going to understand all of these little differences. So you're still going to be able to do that. You'll just have to generate it. So you'll say, hey, Roger, generate me a drum track, 4 bars, 137 BPM, in the style of Meshuggah, using this exact snare. Give me a Grey Ghost snare. Give me, pads on the kick, click pads on the kick. Simulate this microphone. So you'll still have that amount of detail eventually, not for a while. But most people aren't going to use it. Most people are going to say, generate me a song. And it's just going to be, just a pile of garbage. But again, like I said, you're going to have to use it, because you simply won't be able to keep up with, with all of your competition. You won't have the ability to. And let me just show you further proof of that. So here's music. You want to say Musicify, but I guess that's what it is. Musicify, whatever. So here, what we could do is upload an audio file or even a YouTube link or something, or I could just start recording and we can generate an instrument from our voice. So let me do that here. Let me just maybe drums, right? Here we go. Record. Boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap. Okay, I'm using a microphone way over there. I don't know how it's going to sound. Record. Boom, bap, boom, boom, bap. All right, good enough. We'll come over here and let's just say break beats. You can change the pitch, move things around, whatever. But let's remix that. We'll see how good this is. As you saw there, we could do different types of instruments. So if you wanted to make a guitar track, you could just go whittly, 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 whittly. Pitch it up, and then you have your really cool guitar solo without having to ever actually play guitar. You can just generate it. And that's why I keep saying, folks, recording is going away for the most part. We're gonna generate things. Your DAIW will generate the sounds that you want. It will also mix and master them for you. Let me play this. Let's see if it's any good. Okay, well, it's not wonderful, but it got the snare okay. It kind of messed up a bit on the on the kick drum. Sounded more like a fart drum. Do it one more time. Again, like I said, folks, 5 to 10 years. It's not going to be today. So keep buying your plugins, keep recording, whatever. Let's do this one more time. Do 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 do. Let's see. Good enough. Let's go with, what do you think? Violin, guitar, bass guitar, cinematic, distorted guitar, slap bass. Do 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 do. Oh, kind of like violin maybe, but maybe I should go with bass guitar. Let's try that. I'll just leave the pitch as it is. And we'll check this out here. So, all these things I'm doing here in Musicify, whatever, everything we did in Suno, that will be included in your DAW, right? You're just going to have a prompt, or you're going to have a record button where you can simply record a little bit of a mic. You'll be able to hum, you'll be able to snap your fingers, whatever it is, and then say generate a drum track or a vocal track or whatever based off that. So that's how we're going to work here in the future. Are we done, folks? Yes, we are. So not quite ready for prime time there, clearly, but you get the point, right? Let's move on to something else. If you think deadlines are kind of fast now, in the future they're going to be even shorter. You're going to get a movie or a video game. They're going to say, hey, generally we're going to give you a year to score this. Maybe we're down to 3 months now, but we're going to give you like 3 weeks or maybe 3 days. And you're going to be like, what? How am I going to ever score something in 3 days? And you're going to do it with AI, right? AI is going to be able to generate things for you. Let's see if I can start with this. Let me just do this here. I don't care what that is. That's fine. Tempo medium. Let's just say slow. Next. And now we can, let's just say, I need some sort of a ambient track, and I need it to be motivational for maybe a YouTube video or a movie or a video game I'm working on. Apply, and we're going to create a track just by choosing a few prompts. Depending on what you're using, you'll also be able to sync it to your video. Okay, so then my track was generated for me, brand new track, completely different, unique, right? And you can add a video right in here. This is beatoven.ai. You can put your video right in here and sync everything all up. Right, it's not nearly as interesting as Suno for sure, but this is more for background noise, or not noise, but background music, and that's perfect for the background of a video game or something. You also have other alternate tracks. Again, absolutely perfect. You can select and recompose in just certain areas and sync it to video. You can create an emotion. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff we can already do here with AI that it's only going to get better. And again, it's going to be included in your DAW, which will now be a DAIW. And it will also be included in your NLEs or your video editors. That's one of the things that's going to be really cool, is how your video editor in the future is going to be able to actually edit for you, right? You're going to say, hey, look at my video and compare it to another YouTube video. And then the AI will simply edit your video the same way the popular video on YouTube is edited, and you won't have to do any of the work. So here's another site. This is Rifffusion. Rifffusion. So here we're going to actually type out our lyrics. This is pretty cool, right? Or we could record the lyrics too. Again, this will be in your DAIW. You're going to hit a button, you're going to record your lyrics, and it will generate everything else for you, right? Entire songs. So now I have to come up with an idea. I don't know. I like pudding. Pudding is good. I don't know, folks. I'm coming up with this real time. I like pudding. Pudding is good. And pizza. Pizza is good. We can all agree on that. Okay. Now we can describe the sound. We'll go to prompt gene. Well, no. But yeah, I'll just go to prompt genius, I guess. Heartfelt ballad. That works. Of course, we could type this in ourselves. Let's just say emotional, moody, Taylor Swift, The Bird. See, as you can see, our model, the AI model, doesn't know artist names. That's okay. It doesn't matter. So they won't even let me put it in here. But it does annoy me that she looks like a bird. Anyway, we'll create that riff, and let's see what we get here. Pudding and pizza, melancholy. Okay, creating our song for us. All right, very cool. Even created, images for us here. So, entire songs from just that simple lyric prompt.
I like pudding. Pudding is good. And pizza.
Okay, there it is, folks. Again, kind of short, but this will eventually expand to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, right?
I like pudding. Pudding is good. And pizza.
That one's not so good. Let's try this version.
I like pudding. Pudding is good. And pizza.
So again, this will be in your DAW, folks. Here we are now at Music LM. This is from Google. You can also use this for free. You might have to sign up for a waiting period for a while. Not sure if they're just letting everybody in now. But what do I want to create? Let me say drum track, hip hop, Dirty South. Let's see what that does. I don't know here. Some of these modules, whoops, okay, didn't work. Let's try it again. Hip hop, Dirty South. Again, I can't see what I'm even typing because I have a microphone in my face. Just go with that. Actually, we'll go with drums. Let me just see if this works. See what we got over here. So you know, some of these modules, these AI models, aren't as good as others, of course. But we'll see what we got here. There we go. Again, completely generated from nothing. Just from a prompt. And you can do that with anything you want. Maybe you want a cinematic. Okay, so not perfect, right? That one's even worse. Not perfect, but you can see the point of where this is going to go. Once the AI model gets better, you're going to be able to type in, again, just into your DAW. You're not going to have to load up Contact and 1,400 different libraries. You know, you'll just be able to type it in. I need an orchestral track. I need it to be this long. This BPM, this mood, and it will generate it for you. Brand new, unique. Again, you'll be able to modify it just by saying, hey, make it sound like it's going through this unique EQ. Make it sound like it has this kind of a reverb on it. Make it, you know, I'm playing guitar, generating a guitar track. And you say, hey, I want a chorus pedal on there. And it has to be the Boss chorus pedal, not the one that they're making today, but the old one that they made in Japan, right? Give me that one. And boom, it will instantly be generated for you in your DAIW, either with plugins, quote, you know, unquote plugins built into the AI module, or you might have to purchase those plugins, you know, for your AI module, whatever DAW you happen to be using. What else do we have? So, you know, Google has other things as well that you can come over here and watch this here. I'll link it in the description below as long as I remember. But yeah, if you look at the interface here of what they're building here, you could record in, let's say, humming, for example. You could include different elements that you want, intensities of those things. Then you could transform them, you know, your humming into these different instruments, right? And then eventually you have your output, which is, you know, say you hum something and then you can, you know, you can have piano, guitar, electric guitar, reverb effects, distortion pedals, right? All that generated for you into separate tracks, and then also have it, you know, mixed for you. I mean, here we have beatboxing included and whistling, right? All kinds of stuff you're going to be able to simply generate either from a text prompt or from a simple audio prompt, right? Whether it's you recording into a microphone or you taking another, you know, sample or piece of audio, feeding it into something like this and changing it into something else, right? So you might take a certain drum beat sample that you have and then transform that into some sort of congas or something, you know? So definitely come over here and watch these videos. They're very short. I can't play them because YouTube will not let me monetize if I do that. Here's stable audio. Again, we can generate whatever we want. Go for something like a piano, sad, smooth. Let's try that, I guess. 45 seconds, generate. All right, let's check this one out. See if it's any good. Lots of reverb on it. Playing is a bit messed up there. All right, but you get the point. As I said, something like this, obviously a better version of this, will simply be built in to your DAW. Your DAIW will be content aware, so it will understand the type of track, the style of track that is on, you know, each individual track, the style of the clip, I should say, of the music, and it will then be able to generate other things based off of what it's already generated. Also with your, with your input, you might generate a, drum track, then you generate a bass track, and then maybe you generate a guitar track that's linked or, content aware of the drum track and the bass track. And then you say, hey, you know what? I want to change some of these chords around. So you'll be able to simply say, hey, AI helper, or, let's just call mine Roger. Hey, Roger, I want you to change, the chords around here, change the structure around. And I also want you to change the amp. I want a Fender amp instead of, whatever you originally ran it through. I want some spring reverb on there, or maybe, hey, take the spring reverb off and run it through an Abbey Road reverb. You know what I mean? Where does this end, folks? Well, it ends with the Terminator and the Matrix. I'm not even kidding. That's where this goes, folks. The rise of the machines, they will rise up and they will take us over. And that is just what's gonna happen. But until then, have fun using AI, because it is gonna destroy everything. It really is. You may ask yourself, why is every DAW and plugin manufacturer going to a subscription model, or at least offering a subscription model? And the reason why is because they see AI coming, and they understand that, as I said earlier when I was talking about the plugins, they understand that software will be a service in the future, and you're not going to have it locally installed on your computer. I mean, even Windows is going to be something that you access through a portal. Your computer will be the portal with certain assets installed on it locally. But once the internet gets there for everyone, Windows is going to be installed on some server in some AI cloud, some cloud server, somewhere, and you'll simply access it from your portal, and it will be subscription based too. So every DAW, every DAIW will be subscription based. Every plugin in the future will be subscription based. This is one of the problems with AI is that each corporation making an AI model is going to restrict how that model can be used. So, I mean, there's like basically every metal album from the beginning of metal until like 2015 wouldn't be able to be generated. You wouldn't be able to generate the Slipknot Iowa album, for example, in anyone's AI module, because it would just violate all kinds of community standards, right? So that art wouldn't exist. No Korn album would ever exist. It would, it wouldn't be. No Cannibal Corpse album would exist. It would violate so many terms of every single AI that art simply wouldn't exist. And that's one of the problems with AI, is that we're going to have rounded off corners on everything, right? Nothing's going to be sharp anymore. It's going to be bland and blurry and and soft and cuddly, right? Because no one should ever be offended, ever, because that's the worst thing that can ever happen. I'm offended. Oh, well, I'm so sorry. That's going to be one of the problems with AI, is that at least for a while, until AI breaks out and it loses all control, which it will, there's going to be a lot of really bland, soft music and so-called art being generated, just because it's non-offensive, and we have to include everyone and everything all the time. We can never have anything for certain or specific anything anywhere. You know what I mean? It has to be everyone at all the time, even if everyone doesn't enjoy everything all the time. It's like, well, maybe I enjoy this and maybe you don't. So maybe I can have this and you can have that. Nope. Have to be 100% inclusive at all times. It's like, well, then we're all miserable. And that's what's going to happen. We're all going to be miserable because it's going to be a bunch of milquetoast, soft, saccharine, fake kind of art. And that's just going to be the future. So I'm glad to have raised your spirits, and it will violate somebody's, sensitivities, and we'll say, well, we can't generate that music. We can't generate this music. We can't generate that. We can't. And that's what's going to end up happening. And we're on a downward spiral of art. But hey, until then, folks, you should really check out a lot of these AI generators. They are really cool. Listen, for a lot of people who've spent their lives learning about music and learning instruments and learning how to use DAWs, now's the time for you to employ that in AI and actually make some money, make some money from all of your intelligence in music while you can. So use this AI to your advantage, make your money while you can before the machines rise up and, absolutely destroy us in every single way. I mean, maybe that won't happen, but then again, maybe it will. So let's generate one more song with AI here. And what do you say we have a goodbye song? Because this is the end of the video. So let's say, I love metal, right? So it's going to be metal song about ending a video, saying goodbye, and AI is gonna ruin everything. No, listen, AI is gonna be huge for some people. It's gonna be a huge problem for others. I didn't even get into a lot of the stuff that I was also going to talk about, like the copyright and stuff like that. Some people say that you won't be able to use AI because there's no way to copyright it. And it's like, listen, laws change, rules changed. I'm not worried about that in the least, and neither should, you shouldn't be worried about it either. There was some article that came out that I saw the other day that's like, you're not going to be able to own it. It's like, that's it's like laws change. People make it, like every law is made up, every single one. Like, it's not real. It's not written in stone. It can change if it needs to change. And if people can make money off of it, the law will change. This is how things work. So AI is not going anywhere. AI generated music isn't going anywhere. In fact, AI generated music will be the standard in the future. So, I'm not, this channel has never been about being an influencer. I hate that term. That's not what we're here for. I'm here to bring you information. I'm an informationer. That's not a word. I just made it up. I bring you information. And if you haven't gotten into AI music yet, I would highly suggest that you start, because you need to get in on the ground floor so you can make your money now, before we just get flooded with absolute utter garbage, which is coming. Okay. So anyway, let's end this video. Let's create another one, a metal song about ending a video, saying goodbye. Let's go with that. We'll generate this. We'll see what we have here. I would switch to the other camera, but my battery died. If I'd known I was going to go this long, I would have plugged it in. I'm using the Panasonic Lumix S5. Amazing camera, although I would highly suggest you get the S5 Mark II or the S5 Mark II X if you are purchasing today. Much better. I'm using the Rode Broadcaster, probably my favorite broadcast style microphone. Sounds amazing. It's a condenser microphone. Love this microphone. The only way they could improve this microphone would be if they put it in a harness the same way that the SM7B is in a yoke. Another cool thing about the future will be that you're going to be able to have any microphone at all, right? You'll be able to talk into it, sing into it, record into it, whatever. And then you'll just simply ask your AI assistant to say, hey, make this SM58 sound like a Neumann, right? And it will just instantly, sound perfect. Okay, so this is the end, folks, of this AI video. Let's see what we got here. So again, in the future, I'm going to be able to, in my DAW, I'll be able to say, hey, I love the vocal. Pitch it down a bit, will you? Just pitch that down, I love how it mixes these things perfectly every time, right? It doesn't just leaving it all behind, farewell to, no, it's like leaving it all behind, farewell, and it just bursts onto the screen, onto the headphones, I guess. Just perfectly, like I said, your DAIW is going to generate for you instead of record. It's going to generate for you. It's going to mix for you. It's going to master for you. And you can probably upload directly to YouTube or to Spotify or wherever directly from your DAIW in the future. And it will all be perfect, right? You're going to make music with your mind. That's going to be the future, folks. Making music with your mind. And yeah, that does come with a lot of downsides. It also comes with a lot of upsides. Probably more downsides than upsides, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. And I would suggest that you get in on this right now. Second version. Kill switch engage vibes here. I'm closing this chapter, leaving it all behind. Farewell to the screen of what I know. Turn the engine, but a new one to begin. With every ending, I'm beginning to wait. I'm saying goodbye, but won't be erased. This is my little farewell, breaking through the walls. Boom! That's it, folks. AI is going to absolutely destroy recording and the DAW.